What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel and welcome to today's episode. Hope your year's been solid so far. Today, we're talking about Vincent Fisher, another so-called alpha bro, but let's be real, influencer he is not. Let's see what's popping with him because the latest news is his car getting repossessed.
I coach coaches who coach coaches. Like that's what I do. But I'm not gonna lie about it. I'm not gonna say buy my course instead. I'm gonna say, listen, the numbers are there. Obviously, I'm good at what I do. People go, oh, well, you're a scammer. I mean, if I teach you how to go viral and I teach you how to make money and I happen to be viral and make money, that's living proof that I
You've probably seen this guy on Instagram or somewhere, kind of doing an Andrew-style act. And yeah, it's hard to miss. This desperate wannabe copies the talk, the posture, the whole vibe, trying way too hard to look like someone else. He recently flexed a wild $3.5 million Lamborghini Scion like it was nothing. Turns out that same car got repossessed, along with his girlfriend's Lamborghini Urus too. That's exactly what we're breaking down today, so stay tuned because this one gets messy. This is a seriously interesting episode. Alright, so you already know I've always said this loud and clear. Nothing you see on social media is real. Almost everything is fake, especially influencers who build their whole image around money and non-stop flexing. 9 times out of 10, it's smoke and mirrors, not real life at all. Vincent Fisher having his Lamborghini Scion repossessed proves that point. But that's not even the wildest part. The real issue—
always broke people judging rich people. They're always like, oh, well, I don't need a penthouse. I live in a box. I don't need a hypercar. I have a Honda. You can't get a hypercar. And for that reason, you're hating.
Issue is the behavior and the fake persona. The non-stop fronting, the overacting, the borrowed confidence, it all falls apart when the truth hits. Instead of success, what you see here is someone playing a role that doesn't match reality. Take a look at this clip for a second. So as you can see, the whole mouth movement thing, the over-the-top delivery, it's screaming fake confidence. You can't just buy a supercar and suddenly become somebody. The body language, the way of talking, super Andrew Tate inspired, right in your face, constantly talking down on people who maybe don't want to spend money that way. And let's be clear, it's not that they can't afford it, it's that they're smart enough to make better financial choices. He keeps pushing this line that it's always the poor people hating on the rich people. That's the excuse every time. But
the people move to go 0 to 100 because you have access to other people's money. There's nowhere else in the world where you have as easy access to other people's money as the US. The US is trillions in debt already. I'd always go over using other people's money over my own. Even when I'm at the highest branches of US banks, right? When I'm at, the banks and they deal with bigger amounts of money that's moving through accounts, you're talking to a different staff. But I'll speak to these people and they'll say the same thing. They'll go, Vince, none of the wealthy families we work with use their own money. A lot of them use like life insurance policies to not use their own money. A lot of them will just take out loans and stuff to not use their own money. But as a rule of thumb, why would you use your own money when you—
here's the real issue. You're not rich. That's the part that doesn't add up. People who are actually wealthy, or even on their way there, don't drown themselves in debt over things they clearly can't handle long term. That's just reality. So the rumor is, and to be fair, credit goes to Johnny Bravo Films, he couldn't keep up with the payments on the car. Not only that, when repossession time came around, him and his girlfriend, moving like a bad duo, hid both cars in random garages. What's wild is that you're about to see that Lamborghini Scion back on the market soon, listed for sale all over again. And here's where it gets really messy. My guess is he made that flashy purchase to boost Instagram views, push subscriptions, or whatever product he's pitching this week. These guys are always selling something, every single time. It's always sketchy, and they always get exposed in the end, every one of them. Even big-name online gurus have faced lawsuits and serious accusations. All these so-called alpha money-teaching figures keep preaching success, and somehow they all end up tied to shady moves or flat broke. There are a few very lucky exceptions, like Luke Belmar, and people love how he presents himself as this super sharp entrepreneur. But let's keep it real. The guy hit a straight-up jackpot. He bought a meme coin early and it blew up. Massive gains, end of story. That's really it. There's nothing deep or magical behind it. Then there was that situation where he was involved in a project with another guy where most of the actual work was allegedly done by the other person. After that,
So with that, so you say you were natty at first. Did you ever experimented or wanted to experiment with like any enhancements?
Yeah. Like after I moved to Miami and stuff like that, play around with stuff. I guess I'm not involved with all and stuff. Anyways, I got up to like 220 during that time. But what happened was I had health issues. And then on top of that, my psychological wasn't on point, where I'm like crashing out and like started arguments. I wasn't being the stoic person I am. And then I kind of removed myself from that. That's another reason I've never...
Luke reportedly blocked him from accessing the site or platform, and now there's another lawsuit floating around. It's always lawsuits with these online money figures, always something popping up. Now this is where Vincent really messed up big time, and it comes down to his car choice. He clearly bought the Lamborghini Scion as a huge flex, a $3.5 million price tag meant to shock people. He wanted that reaction like, oh wow, trying to sit in the same visual lane as high-end hypercars. But here's the problem. The average guy watching has no idea what a Lamborghini Scion even is. They don't know it's limited edition. They don't know it's part of a special Lamborghini program like other rare models. None of that clicks for a normal viewer at all. That kind of car only impresses hardcore car enthusiasts, and let's be honest, that's not his audience. That's strike one. Strike two is that at the end of the day, it's still a Lamborghini supercar. To the average viewer online, it looks no different than a regular model. Same brand, same vibe, same noise. So in their eyes, someone with a $200,000 Lamborghini Huracan looks just as impressive, if not more. The flex completely misses the target, and that's where the whole plan falls apart. So,
To some degree, I'm in the education game on a smaller scale. Yeah. So if somebody were making serious, false, defamatory threats against me, if that's even a word, a split second of my mind goes, and how much would it cost to delete this person? Not kill them. Like, how much would it cost to take their channel down? Yeah, 2,000. All right, let's do that. I'm not saying that I've done anything like that, but it's crossed my mind. And I think if I'm in the game of just making a few million, right, and there's people that make trillions, do they not think the same thing a little bit? Do they not think, oh, Scuff, oh, maybe he had an eye on it, he's got set in the all this stuff. You know what I mean? Like, I'm just giving an idea. I'm just taking.
Basing your whole influence on a car flex, especially a $3.5 million Scion, is straight up nonsense. It makes no sense at all. People don't even know what that car is, and that's the issue. It's technically labeled a hypercar, but most people don't see it that way, and honestly, even then, it doesn't hit like one. It's running an engine similar to an Aventador, which puts it in the same conversation as cars like the Ferrari 812 Superfast. Those are supercars, not some alien spaceship-level flex. To regular people watching online, there's no major difference, and that matters a lot. And this goes right back to that whole claim about poor people hating on the rich people. That's not always the case at all. Sometimes it's average successful people looking at your decisions and thinking they don't add up. That's the real reaction here. A lot of the people you label as haters probably have better credit, less debt, and way more stability. That's just facts. If you're missing payments left and right, people are going to notice. What's wild is that according to Johnny Bravo, Vincent was reportedly caught with his card getting declined over a $3 bottle of water and even a gym membership. That's not hate, that's reality hitting hard. No gym access, no smooth checkout, nothing. Then he's later spotted with his girlfriend grabbing fast food. And let's be clear, that part is totally normal. Everyone eats fast food sometimes, no big deal at all. The issue isn't the food, it's the contrast between the online flex and what's actually happening offline. But the
$5 million hypercar at 22 years old. Now, I just sent the wire out this morning, so we're gonna run a few errands and go pick that up. But in the meantime, I don't know if I've ever shown the penthouse on the channel, but you guys can see here, this is the spot we got in. And boys, when I say penthouse, I don't mean 40th floor. When I say penthouse, I mean it's 2 stories, and there's absolutely nothing above us if you guys take a look outside.
The real problem for you is that you turned normal everyday stuff into poor people behavior when it's really not at all. You basically dug your own hole and jumped right in. That's the wild part. What honestly blows my mind is how many guys actually bought into this whole act. When I first saw him talking online, I seriously thought it was a parody, like he was mocking the Andrew Tate style on purpose, just joking around. That's how over the top it looked. But nope, turns out this is really him. This isn't a skit, this isn't satire, this is the actual personality. And that's where it gets baffling. I look at stuff like this and think, how does this even happen? For the followers, it's confusing too. How do you hear someone talk like that and think, yeah, this is the guy I should listen to? How does that mindset even form in the first place? And then you start wondering if it's all just an act. Maybe once the camera's off and the image drops, he's just a normal dude dealing with stress like everyone else. Maybe behind closed doors, it's more like, yeah man, these payments are killing me, or I don't know how I'm going to keep income coming in, or business is rough right now. If that's the case, then the whole flex was just a move that didn't land. The image cracked, reality showed up, and now everything people believed starts falling apart. I'd honestly have way more respect if he just came out and said it straight. Like, yeah, I did this as a business move because I saw Andrew Tate blow up off the Bugatti angle. That whole "what color is your Bugatti" line hit naturally at the time, and it worked for him. And just to be clear, I'm not even an Andrew Tate fan. A lot of these guys made their money in questionable ways. That's just reality. But that's not even the main point here. I don't really care about that part. The issue is trying to copy someone else's entire blueprint, thinking it'll work the same for you, and then watching it collapse completely. There are rumors floating around that Vincent made his money through OnlyFans models, basically managing them or running operations behind the scenes. If that's true, fine. I don't even have a big issue with that business model itself. That's not where my confusion comes from. What I don't understand is why you'd even put yourself out front like this. Why all the loud flexing? Why constantly showing off? What's the point of grabbing a $3.5 million car just for optics? That's where it stops making sense. And here's the thing people don't get. They don't actually just buy a $3.5 million car outright. That's not how it works. You put down a massive down payment and structure the rest. That's how leasing works. I know this firsthand because my first 2 supercars were lease-to-purchase deals. So when someone builds their whole image around a car they don't fully own, it's risky. If the image cracks, everything else comes down with it. So yeah, it always starts the same way. Big down payment, then absolutely massive monthly payments that don't even go toward owning the car. When you lease supercars, you're barely paying down the car itself. Most of that money is just interest, straight up. The interest on cars like this is no joke. It can sit around 8.9%, sometimes 9%, even pushing 10%. On a $3.5 million car, you're easily looking at $10,000 to $15,000 a month, and that's interest only. Just money going out the door every single month. Now, think about this. He picked up the car sometime early last year, maybe around February. Imagine putting that same monthly money into silver or gold instead, month after month. You'd be in a completely different position right now. That's how opportunity gets burned. Then there's the down payment. These cars usually need around 10% up front. That's roughly $350,000 gone instantly. Once the car is repossessed, that money doesn't come back automatically. It's not sitting there waiting for you. To even try to recover anything, the car has to be sold again, and whatever price it sells for decides how much gets lost. The